Many Bahamians will remember Michelle Obama's speech at the Democratic National Convention last year when she said, "Being president doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you are." And one dictionary defines a dictator as a political leader who possesses absolute power. Now, yesterday in the House of Assembly, Hubert Minnis, the democratically elected MP, started the process to give Hubert Minnis, the dictator, a further 4 months of power as the competent authority. But he refuses to accept that he doesn't have to take away your civil liberties in order to manage the COVID-19 pandemic. Imposing emergency powers was only supposed to be an immediate short-term measure until a proportionate act of parliament could be put in place that doesn't take away your rights, like how it's done in the UK. Last year, the UK's government brought the Coronavirus Act 2020 into law and then gave the police the extra powers to enforce this through the Coronavirus COVID-19 police powers. But one reason why Hubert the dictator Minnis is keeping these emergency powers is that he's using them to take care of big business to the detriment of the small man. He inserted a new section into the Employment Act so employers don't have to pay redundancy pay after Bahamians have been laid off for over 90 days. And another reason that he's using these emergency powers is to help his rich friends by giving them millions of dollars without going through the usual process beforehand. You remember how he gave the Holowescos $16 million to manage the food distribution program, but he was only able to do this since Section 11, Subsection 1 of the Emergency Powers COVID-19 Pandemic Regulations 2020 says that all rules and laws relating to providing goods and services to the government are suspended. But he is breaking the law since subsection 2 says within 6 weeks of the expiration of the proclamation of emergency, he must lay a report before the House detailing the total expenses of the goods and services, who supplied them, and the reason why he chose them. Note that it says the report must be tabled within 6 weeks after the proclamation of emergency has expired. The first expired in June 2020, and the second expired in November 2020. Now, the same law that says we can be fined $10,000 or spend 18 months in jail for breaking an emergency order is the same law that he's breaking. So I guess that there's one rule for him and his friends and another rule for us. And regarding his refusal to give an account for the $16 million that he gave the Holowescos, I guess that this is no surprise, since he's also refused to give an account for the $7 billion collected in VAT, or the $4.5 billion that he's borrowed in less than 4 years.